Hey guys, yep, it's still Thursday for me. I'm still working. It's 6:17 p.m. I'm doing the recording for Friday. We're going to be going over cell differentiation. So this is the PowerPoint and the lecture for Friday, which is going to be the 19th of March. Okay, so watch this when I tell you to pause the video, write the information down in your notes, do it. Okay. I had a couple students today go, what are you talking about? They didn't watch the video. Big problem. Okay. You absolutely have to do this. If you don't, you're going to struggle in my class. And I want science to be fun for everyone and not this boring, monotonous class that everyone hates. Okay. I'm not that type of teacher. So do what I ask. You guys can do it. Okay. And then you'll have fun. So with that being said, I'm going to shut off my camera. I'm going to share my screen. And then I'm going to go over the lecture. And we're going to go over the Google Doc and the PDF that you guys need to use. I hope everyone understands. Okay. You can play this as many times as you want. There's no limit. It is on a YouTube channel that is for my education, either for the college or for you guys. So you're special, right? Okay, here we go. I'm working on my home computer. Where are you? There we go. All right, stopping my video. This. Okay, so cell differentiation. Oops, I need to go very, very, very beginning. Okay. Here we go. I got it, guys. Okay, so there's two keywords for this, so it's not too bad. We have differentiation and then stem cell. Now, if you paid attention to my 4.3 lecture, I did talk about stem cells just briefly. Okay, and that's kind of a really cool cell that scientists are researching into. How can we make it like a super cell to combat cancer and other diseases that are debilitating for many people across the world? So cell division alone can't explain the development of new structures at all, okay? So when a cell divides, it's just dividing and dividing and dividing and making copies of that same type of cell. If it doesn't change and be different, so differentiation means to be different, then you're just going to be that one type of cell, like a thumbnail or a piece of hair or, you know, an intestine or whatever. It won't be any different. It'll be the same. It wouldn't be you. So if a cell only divided, the result would be a big ball of identical cells, just like I said, instead of different cells. Okay, so write all three of those down. Sorry, it's kind of weird to write, but do your very best. Pause the video right now. Okay, so this is kind of, I'm just going to quickly go over these so you guys can see how a human is made. Okay, no, I'm not talking about the process, but I'm talking about how the actual, after the egg is fertilized, this is what happens. So day one kind of looks like this. At the end of day one, beginning of day two, it divides. Look at that. End of day two, it's 4 cells. End of day three, you have between 8 and 10 cells. Day 4, 12 to 16, and then so on and so forth. So a zygote develops into a zygote and then into a fetus. Okay, it's really, excuse me, a zygote, it develops into an embryo and then into a fetus. Differentiation leads to specialized tissues and organs. So without differentiation, you wouldn't have heart, lungs, intestines, bones, skin, or anything else. You wouldn't have any of those. It would just be a big blob of whatever cell it is. So write all of these down. All four are very, very, very important. It helps you answer for some of your vocabulary development for 4.4. So differentiation is the process by which cells change in structure and become capable of carrying out specialized functions. So think about your heart, okay? Are your heart and your lungs different? Yeah, they are, okay? So if those cells weren't different and you had heart cells for your lungs, would it work? You're probably shaking your head, no way, okay? So differentiation is really important. It helps cells become capable of carrying out super specialized functions. So as cells differentiate, they become different from one another. Differentiation is to be different from another. They also form groups made of other similar specialized cells. So that's when we get tissues and organs, okay? So these groups are then to form tissues and organs, as I just said. So plants, animals, and other multicellular organisms, meaning more than one cell, okay, begin their lives as one cell. And then through mitosis and differentiation, the single cell becomes an organized, specialized structures. When cells differentiate, they also become organized. It's really important. At first, they group into tissues, okay? Write this down. Tissues are groups of specialized cells that work together to carry out specific functions. Brain, your muscles, your heart, your intestines, okay, your skin, those are all specialized groups. Each set of tissue is a specialized group. So differentiation is really important in the body. So write both of those down. Pause the video. Also, you should have paused the video for this if I didn't say that. I'm sorry. Pause the video and write this one down if you didn't. So groups of tissues also combine to form organs, okay? So organs are really, really, really important because if you didn't have organs, well, you wouldn't be alive today, or at least really wouldn't be you, okay? So write that one down. Pause the video and write that one down. So systems are groups of organs that function together. Make sure you write that one down. Pause the video really quick. So as development continues, more fine-grained differentiation may take place, meaning more specialization. During development, each cell becomes fixed or set in how it will differentiate, meaning when it reproduces, it will consistently be that same type of cell. However, during embryonic development of an organism, kind of like a baby that's forming right here, okay, in the picture, during that development, differentiation is taking place. The cell is consistently dividing, the baby is growing, and cell differentiation is taking place. You do actually have cell differentiation all the way until you're an actual grown adult. And even then, there's still some nuances that cells do differentiation. So the plan that determines which type of cell it will become is coded in your DNA of the cell's nucleus. Well, if you remember me talking about what DNA is, DNA in your chromosomes kind of are your blueprint. And differentiation occurs when certain sections of the DNA are turned on and turned off, kind of like a light switch. Your genes are either turned on or turned off. Blue eyes, green eyes, tall, short, if you have dense bones, if you have brittle bones, if you're susceptible to getting sick, or if you're, not susceptible to getting sick. Some people just get a cold really easy and some people don't. Well, that's a genetic thing. The active DNA then guides how to develop. Oh, by the way, write that down. Pause the video. Once the cell's future has been determined by the DNA, when how much it is changed depends on its DNA itself and its function and the type of organism that it is. Write that down. Pause the video. Some animals, like this reptiles and crustaceans, can grow limbs or tails and replace them. You know what? We don't do that. I wish we did. That would be like ridiculously cool. Scientists are trying to figure that out, but it's built into their genes. You don't need to write that one down. Cells at the point of injury can differentiate, forming new muscle, bone, blood, and nerves. Okay, you don't need to write that one down. The replacement of lost body parts does not occur in humans. That's really important for you to understand. If you lose a finger or an arm or a leg or something of that sort, it will not grow back. You are not a reptile. You are not a crustacean. Okay. Once human cells differentiate, they usually lose the ability to become other cell types. Now, you absolutely have to write all four of, actually, the first one, second one, and fourth one. You don't need to do the example, which is the third. So how humans do produce cells is called stem cells. They differentiate throughout life. Stem cells exist throughout the body. They respond to certain needs in the body and become specialized cells. For example, your body needs a constant supply of red blood cells to replace old ones. Well, that one does that. Every day, stem cells produce new red blood cells. That's an example, okay? So you can do first, second, and I'll say the fourth one's optional. You don't need to. Write that down, pause the video. So these will become blood cells. Blood cells have a short lifespan, therefore consistently produced by bone marrow. You don't need to write that down, okay? You don't need to write these down, just listen. End of a long bone showing bone marrow in its interior. There are two different types of bone marrow, red and yellow. Red marrow, seen here, is involved in the production of cellular blood components such as red blood cells, platelets, and white blood cells. The yellow bone marrow is mainly fat cells. At birth, all bone marrow is red. With age, more and more converted to yellow. About half of your adult bone marrow is red and found mainly in the flat bones and in cancellous or spongy material, shown here at the end of the long bones. Yellow bone marrow is found in hollow interior in the middle of the long bones. So differentiation is cell changes its structure to carry out specialized function. You already have that written down, so you're good. So you don't need to write the first two because we've already talked about that. We'll talk about the other three. So cells differentiate in developing plants in much the same way as they do animals. Differentiation cells group together to form tissues that make up roots, stems, and leaves. Okay, so you don't need to write those two down. We understand that. Adult plants have the ability to grow bigger throughout their lives. Do you? That is a question. Do you consistently grow throughout your life? You get bigger and bigger and bigger, or do you stop at a certain point? What do you guys think? Okay, think about it. Are your parents consistently growing? No. Okay, but I will tell you your fingernails, your toenails, your hair all consistently grow. Same thing with your nose. Your nose will continuously get bigger, and your ears at a very slow rate, though, throughout your entire life. So this growth happens because certain cells in the roots and the stems of plants are not fixed in their development. These cells can undergo rapid cell division and differentiate, increasing the size of the roots and the stems. You don't need to write any of those, guys, okay? But I just wanted you to think about that. Guess what? You're done. So here's what I want you to do. I'm going to stop sharing really quick. I'm going to turn my camera on. Hi there. Hi. Okay. So we are going to go over 4.4 really fast. I'm going to share screen 3. Okay. All right. So 4.4. When cells differentiate, they become blank. Your job is to literally fill in the vocabulary words. I'll give you a hint. if you go over my PowerPoint again and you compare these sentences to my PowerPoints, you're going to find every single one. Now, remember when I told you write down stem cell and write down the definition of differentiation, which are the bullet points for them? Those will be right there. You literally copy the definition of each one into it and you're good, okay? But for 1 through 10, I want you guys to find those vocabulary words that are built into my PowerPoint, okay? It's not very hard. We will go over it, but I want you to make sure that you know what to do, okay? So take a look, okay? I'll give you a hint. The key word is different, okay? Different. It's really important word, and for this one. For what it looks like, so it is in classroom already, okay? Here we go. Just like last time, guys, it's really easy. There's 12 spots. Just put the missing word in there if you don't have the physical handout that I gave the B students today that were present. So my B students, if you have this, you guys can fill it out in person and turn it into me. My A students, do it virtually. You don't have to worry about the actual physical handouts. You guys will all get chapter 5 on Monday, okay? And my B students for tomorrow, or should I say for Friday, will get chapter 5. So when they come to me, you guys are good to go, and then we don't really need to do too many of these. If you want to continue doing the virtual handouts, I am okay with continuously putting them up there for people to type instead of handwriting. For my B students that watched me write down things today on the board, they just looked at me like, wow, he's got really bad handwriting. And I do. So that's okay. That's why I type everything. So that's what that looks like. And then we have the PDF, which you already went through with me, okay? You got the Google Doc, which is the answer sheet. I'm going to be posting this lecture on Google Classroom tonight, okay, on Thursday for Friday, okay? It's really, 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 really important that you guys do that. Now, on the stream, it already has, okay, the slides are 190 through 226. That's the slides that you have to review. That's the slides that I just went over. So go over them as many times as you need to, guys. It's okay. And then watch this video again and then do your handout. Now, I went through the grading already for all of chapter 4. A lot of you haven't done 4.1, 4.2. Kind of upset, but I'll get over it if you guys turn it in. Now, I'm going to go over 4.3 really quick. Okay, oops, someone turned it in. All right, so let's go over this really fast. Prophase, the chromatin condenses. One is chromatin condenses. Okay, what's the second phase? Metaphase. Okay, then anaphase is what? Come on, guys. I know you can tell me. They do what? They separate. Okay, the chromatin separates. And then you have telophase, so T-E-L-O, or sometimes people say telophase, okay, is the new nuclear envelope forms. Which stage of the cell cycle lasts longest? Interphase, it's about 19 hours. During which stage does the cell cycle DNA replicate occurs? Interphase also, it's about 9 hours to 10 hours, depending on the cell. During which stage does the cell cycle, does a membrane pinch off? That's called cytokinesis, okay? It's the last phase. 8, regular sequence of growth and division of the cell cycle. That's cell cycle, okay? That's C, 8 is C. 9, first stage of the cell cycle. That's interphase, A. 10, process by which DNA is replicated or copied. Replication, E is 10. Stage of the cell cycle during which the cell's nucleus divides. Okay, which one is that? Which one is that? What do you guys think? Give you a hint. Mitosis. Okay, I'm sorry. Never mind. Cytokinesis, D. Sorry. Whoops. Oh, no, I was right. Mitosis. Oh my goodness. I'm so tired. It's killing me today. 11. Double rod of condensed chromatin. That's a chromosome, F. And then a final stage is cytokinesis. Okay. Sorry about the mitosis one, guys. I am really exhausted. So if you have questions, I just gave you the answers. If anything, type them in and submit it to me so I can give you credit, please. I really don't want to give anyone a bad grade. I want you guys to do well in my class. Okay. So email me, message me on Google Classroom if you get stuck. Okay. I want you guys to like science and have a good time. Okay. If you have any questions, you know how to contact me. There is no Zoom anymore. Okay. No Zoom. Wednesday we'll have first period check-in. That's it. No more Zoom. I don't Zoom and try to teach in person. I don't teach in front of the classroom. So it'd be very difficult for me to pay attention and give the appropriate attention to you guys and the students in the room at the same time. I just can't do it. I tried many times and I have a hard time doing it. And I want everyone to get everything that they need. So email me if you have problems. Okay, guys? All right. Have a great day. If I don't talk to you, have a wonderful weekend. And then I'll see my A group on Monday morning sharp. Okay. Bring paper, pen. If you can bring like a little folder, stick your handouts in, that would be very ideal. Okay. No quiz for chapter 4, guys. So yay, no quiz. All right. Bye. Keep having problems. Oh well. Bye, guys.